to see what they pair up with it, considering that so many picks are already taken off the board. They're not even going to go for it. So they are just going to go for that AP jungle option now and leave it so they can go with the double AD solo lanes.
And we're going to get engaged on the side of LGD as well. As you mentioned, double AD solo lane sets it up for success. For LGD, just thinking about this one, as it gets locked in, we can start talking about some of those solo lanes for LGD as well. Melee lanes, like, you know, we were mentioning FoFo's Akali. Haichao's second most played, that Akali as well. So we're looking at two mid-mains who absolutely love the pick at the moment. And it's something that in the LPL has constantly been banned away. In fact, against some of our top-tier teams yesterday, or the day before rather, it was taken off every single game, not given over as a priority. So we have to see if LGD put any faith in the pick.
They're going to look for that one, and they're going to continue to pinch out AD carries, which I think makes sense when, I mean, so many of them are already off the board, so you're really going to have EDG just scrounging for whatever they want to go for. And now EDG, where they can look with bans, I guess just things that you don't want to see up. Again, potentially that top lane role. I think Haichao has been manageable, but no, actually putting respect on him and taking away the Yone. So just wanted to say, hey, we're going to take away some of these melee options for Haichao, like you were highlighting, and putting more, I guess, threat on the fact of the Yone coming out, looking for those all-ins up against the Jayce.
I'm just kind of wondering if they need to go that path, or if Xiaoxu, you know, your highlight player from LGD. It's kind of interesting, you know, we're both talking about solo lanes here for LGD being our little stars of the show. But, you know, both these players are getting respected. Lee's just having a cackle. He's like, oh, they're banning away. They keep banning away 80 carries. That's a 580 carry ban against Lee. Like, he's got no option.
I mean, 580 carries banned. Technically, what, 8 off the table, right? 5 by them, 2 by EDG. Even though Ashe typically is a support, right? But in the Lucian being taken, so yeah. I mean, if they can still make this work, this is going to be great from EDG. Their bot lane has been a standout point for them, even if we have highlighted people like FoFo really having great performances this split. But there's the Akali that you highlighted. I would expect this to come through. Probably the safest thing that you can look to. Again, we'll say quote-unquote blind, since the potential for the flex is still there for EDG to look elsewhere.
What's he
and
got?
This would be interesting. I mean, you have an Enchanter down in that support role. You can set Leave up to be the big Gary. And I love that he even turns over to look at Kenju, being like, this is the pick, right?
We can do this. Yeah, let the smiles come out. Kenju's pointing. Let's hope he's not saying do something else. But we're going to get one of the solo laners first, it seems. Get some kind of decision from EDG before we get the final nod on what the AD carry is going to be. It looks like they're just buying time as Renekton gets locked in, and Lyric, we can still see these flexed around. Let's be real. We've seen Renekton mid, we've seen Jayce mid enough times as well. But now we get to see a new pick. Let's be real. Leave, whatever he pulls out here is going to be exciting, as this was looked at before. Lock it in so we can see a cog on the Rift, and I need to go and check stats in the back end.
I think it'd be first Kog'Maw this split in the LPL.
You are dead right. We've had everything else pretty much, and yet first Kog'Maw locked in by Lee.
I love it, right? The guy coming in to replace Viper, the guy who has been so touted for the performance he's been able to put on in the LPL this split. I mean, I guess we could say having the confidence, but also really being pushed to this option by LGD, the huge respect coming through. But you look at EDG's composition, right? A lot of threat coming on through. They have a ton of range to play with. You know, Kog'Maw, especially once he gets an ult online, throwing out the ulti, the accelerate shock blast from FoFo, and then having this huge front line to try to disrupt, to set up for that poke to be able to come through. And obviously tremendous scaling damage to even be able to take down the beefy front line in Xiaoxu and Meteor.
So what do you put it on LGD's side? Because EDG would move to 10-2, and their fate would be secured. An early lock into playoffs. It is only halfway through week number 8. It would be stating something that EDG fans have got some hope that this team could be striving towards MSI and towards the top of the table here in 2023.
I love that you hit on, you know, the respect that has to be put on LGD, that this isn't just going to be, this doesn't necessarily have to be EDG walking over them. EDG, heavy favorites. EDG have walked over many teams, but LGD in their last game took down BLG. And BLG right now, a mid-table team, but we know BLG have the heights, you know, with the strength of the roster being a top team. So LGD showing they could put up a fight and even take down BLG, I think it shows. Again, anything can happen. EDG gonna see if they can keep up their momentum, because they have just been taking down top teams left and right as of late. A lot of it being down to pieces like FoFo, like Lee, these new guys coming in on the roster. But even Meiko and Jiejie. Meiko's been someone who we've talked about, has had points and splits where he comes in very slow. Maybe not necessarily like looking bad or like feeding or just, you know, getting gapped, but it wasn't exactly showing up. I feel like this split has been different. Meiko, maybe it's even having some young blood down in that bot lane to rejuvenate him, has been it so that Meiko's been having a standout split as well.
I mean, again, Lee's debut split, like, there needs to be some leadership here, and I love that, you know, Meiko stepping up the table as a keen voice for EDG, who's leading the way for him. Lee has really scaled into the split as well, where he had some good pop-off moments early, but it wasn't as consistent as it feels like it is now. They put a lot of respect on him and pick and ban a 5-champion ban against Lee here in Game 1. Kind of shows you what LGD fear is. We need to kind of pay attention to this game number 1 as well, because how LGD get themselves set up for the poke damage you're talking about does feel like Jiejie is going to be quite responsible here on this tank maokai, and Lyric, see what he can get done early on with some of these strong, aggressive lanes that they've drafted.
We can see both junglers heading down towards the spawn side, knowing that this is really going to be the crux of this early game matchup. I mean, you have kind of a throwaway matchup in top lane, so Jiejie being able to cover, making sure that no ganks come through, because, right, in theory, for the EDG side of the bot lane matchup, it's just being able to dodge out on some of these hooks and being able to whittle away at LGD with their range advantage. So just make sure Meteor doesn't get involved, and you are doing your job as Jiejie.
Little stat there, 198 days since our last Kog'Maw. JDG versus LNG. The end of last split, that was the last time we saw it, so quite a while. I'm kind of surprised. I thought Kog'Maw or Lulu was seen only recently, but I'm definitely wrong on that one.
Which side of the matchup did it say? My guess would be LNG were playing it. Or did it say it was JDG, right? But I feel like Light sounds more realistic than Hope.
Yeah, I think it was Light. I think it definitely was. You're right, it does sound like Light. I can't imagine as Dredgeline does connect on the leave. Akali is great cleanse though with a flash leave. In a bit of trouble, he's already burnt the ghost, trying to turn around, but Meteor's here. And it might be the turnaround with the Arc of Assault, but jungler spotted bot lane. Jiejie here on the horizon as that was a summon a burn, but a summon a turn.
I mean, great window by JinJiao to see that. Leave, stepping a bit too far forward, the minion wave not there to find the hook. The turnaround damage does come on through, though, so the trade not too bad at the end of the day, and they even got Meteor to show himself on the map. So a bit of information gain there for the soul laners of EDG. But yeah, at the end of the day, nothing able to come through, but Ghost, Flash now burned. Some of those key defensive spells. When we hit on 4 EDG, that keeping their bot lane safe is the name of the game.
I mean, just looking at our picture-in-picture, I thought he left it, but Arlo got the other scuttle at the same time. I thought, yeah, observers do that in the LPL consistently. Is nice pushback here. Xiaoxu wants a flip with the Natofo strike. Meteor's nearby as well, so he'll start stacking up. All it needs is to flip the Arc of Assault flash, but matched. Meteor's going to get permafrost. There's the shove back, and a beautiful gank. First blood over to Xiaoxu.
Great combo coming on through, realizing again the strength of Sejuani with the melee soul laners. I love that Meteor knows that he can still easily follow that one up once the flash comes through. And then Xiaoxu with that Q3 able to get the knockback. A nice start for LGD. We've seen proactive moves coming out early for them, and now finding one that works.
With that opening up in the top lane, you said it was a bit of a throwaway matchup. I guess things might change a little bit with Arla. Starting off the back foot a little bit here as well, and Meteor getting something done in this early game. When we did talk about the all-in nature of LGD's composition, they want to throw, I guess, hail to the Mary and just kind of jump in on things. So when you have a front line who finds himself ahead early, that is always a nice start.
Especially if we can see Xiaoxu even like be able to get involved on the map. Very hard and very, it's very easy to say from an outside perspective, and especially top lane. We've heard many top laners say that the top lane matchups and situation doesn't really matter as much in this meta, but to me it's about finding those opportunities. If Meteor comes up top side again, maybe impacting mid, or if you can get like a rotation first to a Herald or a Dragon, that can make the difference if Xiaoxu's able to keep up with momentum in top lane.
He's got 6. Oh, he's got 6. He's got the all out. It's an easy solo kill. He didn't even blink. Yeah, Lyric, continue with your point.
I mean, the point was finished. Just as Xiaoxu, I guess, just finishes up Ala. You can see on the player cam. Not too happy about that one. But he is going to be able to keep the momentum forward. Now no TP, so a lot of minions going to be lost. It is a cannon wave, so cannon going to be denied, plate going to be picked up. And now Xiaoxu going to start finding a meaningful lead.
a very meaningful lead. I mean, this for Arla, not the greatest start, and might not have the first item, but
look at them.
You
Look at them just go down the drain, Hysterics. The money, the cash money.
Investment down. You're right. He might not be too far behind in the CS margin, but Xiaoxu's definitely ahead in the goal. His perspective is, let's be real, you started by saying that your standout was Xiaoxu. Man, I'm talking about Haichao there, but in comparison, look at this guy.
Got set up by his jungler early on, and then Ala, I mean, a little bit disrespectful of how far forward he's playing. Trying to play in range of the minion wave. Xiaoxu hitting 6, running forward, gets the Q3 knockup, but then able to go with the ulti to bring him even closer. No flash available for Ala, so once he's in, he's in. And I didn't see, I guess maybe Slice and Dice getting used like right at the start or right before that engagement happened, so having no way out.
And if LGD can get something more on the map, things are going to be looking good in here in game 1. It's up to bottom lane now as JinJiao. This is a mighty hook to hit. There are too many minions in the way, but will Lee step too far forward? Glacial Prison is flashed away by Meiko, but there ain't no cleanse there. He took Ghost. LPC gets the kill, and Meteor is just on the map.
That was even a great bubble coming out from Meiko, but nothing they could do to stop LPC with the Q coming through the minions to be able to find that kill on to leave. So good job of them, again, finding a window, creating that with the Sejuani ultimate online, and Jiejie had nowhere to be found since he was up towards that top side. And it's one of those like kind of off timings, right? Herald's gonna come up soon. Maybe you'd expect Meteor to be angling up towards the top side as well. You can, you know, theorize all of his camps being up as we could see. But no, using that to take EDG's bot lane off guard.
Hang on, he wants to get into a wall. Xiaoxu has the all out again over the wall. You'll find yourself Arla. This 1v1 is happening again. Jungle comes up, but maybe this time he's going to get taken out as Jiejie is looking for the trade kill. His top laner already died, but they still can't kill him. The flip back, the flash. Xiaoxu. Oh, baby, I'm looking at you.
2-0-1 on the Ksante. Now 0-3 for Ala. Really having a bad time in this game, but it goes back to what we said about LGD. They're not a team that you can count out, coming off a great win against BLG. And so far, I mean, doing excellent to keep up the momentum here. Frostfire already picked up by Xiaoxu before earlier than 9 minutes in the game. We'll go into the replay here as Ala walking forward to get a bit of vision down, feeling safe, because Sejuani just showed on bot side, you have your jungler around, but underestimating the strength of Ksante right now. Goes with the all-out to bring him over the wall, having the increased damage and stats to be able to look for this one. And then they actually wanted to keep it up onto Jiejie, thinking they have enough lockdown with the passive and stun to come through from Meteor, but Jiejie with the flash, man, just to barely escape with his life.
I can't believe it again, the stuff for EDG's not what we expected at all. Let's be real. We talked about this matchup being very far apart, considering LGD are middle to the bottom of the standings. EDG, one of our top teams, came off that win against Weibo. And that's why I said at the start, that's why you agreed with me, Lyric, that in LPL, nothing is as it seems.
No, and honestly, out of the two matches today, I would have actually expected this to be the more one-sided one on paper, right? To where like TT have taken down teams like Weibo, so going up against Jiejie again, heavy underdogs, but maybe there's a bit of a fight there. LGD coming in, really surprising so far. They're gonna have to keep this up, but I mean, hell, they have plenty of engage tools and all-in tools to continue to find the targets that they want to look for. Ala is really going to be a non-factor in this game, and now it's going to be about supplementing, especially that bot lane. I think more about setting the Kog'Maw behind than anything else, because even if LPC isn't necessarily the one getting ahead or finding the kills, you'll always have threats like Haichao able to get onto that back line if Leave is set behind and if Leave summoners are blown.
Well, at this point, it's been easy to pull that out. He's got a Zeal first, Lyric. Are we just rapid fire? Are we Phantom Dancering first for Leave? Like, I guess 80 carry itemization. He says, yeah, I want to attack fast.
I'm interested to see, right? Because, oh, wait, I'll pause, because Meteor
FoFo
likes to be active on the map.
All it takes is a flash for flash. He's been doing that. Getting pretty proactive here. Setting down for the bottom side Drake in the meanwhile. FoFo will be safe, but EDG walking into this. Hex Flash going to be used. They know it's coming, but the Dread Line in between the gutter, but Meteor still jumps in with his ulti perfectly, but Culling's interrupted. Meiko again seems like he's intent on carrying this game. His Leaf Flash, oh, gets it! Now looking for Meteor. He's on an island, though. Has Leaf just sacrificed his life? You know the answer. As JinJiao and Meteor run for their heels, the shock blast from FoFo almost cleans him up. That Kog'Maw was getting down and dirty.
I actually can't believe he used his flash there so aggressively. I mean, it turns out a 1-for-1, EDG do get the Drake, but it feels, I don't know, it feels questionable again using your summoner spells like that when now it's going to be easier for LGD to potentially find a fight that they want. Still love it coming from him. We're going to see here, though, you highlighted Meiko really being the one to shut this down. Engage comes through onto the support, but the tidal wave stopping it. Culling gets interrupted. They're able to go on forward and then leave, wanting to run LPC down, even flashing over the wall. Haichao does use his flash to get in there and take him down quickly, so it seems like LGD realizing, hey, we want to use this quick window before other members can join up and potentially save this Kog'Maw and find more kills.
I just can't believe we got away with that. Phantom Dancer comes out first here in the end. So Leave is just, I guess, changing the way items want to be built as Herald gets put in the mid lane meanwhile. Now, LGD have started this game off cracking. They're almost 2,000 gold up, and with this plate pushed, that should still be the case. But EDG have that Kog'Maw getting to a point and getting to a purpose. We just have to see, Lyric, what happens in the next couple of minutes, because EDG are also dragon stacking, I guess. That could be an issue, considering that LGD will have to respond to that at some point.
Yeah, they're going to have to do something about it, but going back to the Kog'Maw, I'm kind of curious to see where Leave decides to go, because Kog'Maw just has so many different builds you're able to go for, right? You can see things like the Navori quick blades that come out sometimes and like supplement things like your W to come on through. You can go the standard route of things like maybe Ginsu's, and then if they want to try and go more of that kind of on-hit-esque route. So Leave being the first in the LPL, going to be kind of interesting to see what his take on the Kog'Maw is.
True, I mean, I trust him either way. Flash away, Meteor comes in again. Man, he's gotten a lot of flashes this game.
Yeah, he's been incredibly proactive. We can see a lot of times where, I mean, he's had camps up, kind of just neglects them and finds the opportunities. Now Jiejie, yeah, I didn't see that going anywhere, just going in to say hi, trying to bring FoFo over, but realistically, this isn't going to turn into anything unless a Meteor wants to opt into the scrap himself.
Not for the time being. Looking towards mid now because FoFo with a 20 CS lead. Pings were going down. I was wondering if he's going to try and set up for a 1v1. As junglers are battling down. Jiejie is going to be spotted out, but so is Meteor. It's a double lens jungle situation. So both junglers are aware. But are they both aware that the other one's aware? I don't know. I don't think you see other junglers lensing, so they probably think, we're clever.
The one big difference, though, is as we can see FoFo being able to move down, is Haichao having no prio and having to answer that wave to mid, even at go for a recall right now. So at least LGD playing accordingly, playing around their mid laner, wanting to go for that back timing, and Meteor just staying to hover around and make sure that no action comes through from that bot lane. Because it seems like we're quickly going to get to a point where it's going to be like FoFo and Leave, the big threats for the side of EDG. Especially FoFo at this point in time, right? Leave going to want some more items under his belt. To where for LGD, it's going to be a lot about when Haichao is able to get involved in the fights, where maybe we're able to see how this composition can bring forward the advantage that they were able to find earlier. Again,
LGD, you know, they're showing so much promise here in this first game, but changing it into a solid win, changing it into a snowball effect, that's the hard part. Xiaoxu continues to threat up Ale in this top side. Looking towards that Dragon time, we have a minute 30 till we get a bit of an answer on third Drake, and Herald may be coinciding with that with 30 seconds till that spawns up as well. So time is getting a little bit iffy.
I feel like Herald's going to be the big one, especially for LGD, considering that they have all the topside prio, right? So theoretically, if there's an objective they should be able to get quite easily, it should be this one that they're playing for. We can already see both LTC and JinJiao making their way towards mid.
Oh, again, a catch leaves, no cleanse this game. I think he's going to pay for it. That's got to be a regret.
Yeah, I mean, getting caught out pretty consistently, and nothing to take away the CC so far, right? No cleanses, no Mikhail's being built just yet, still too early in the game. Now Haichao!
Getting dove, but how successful will it be? Haichao goes invisible, perfect execution out. He still has an out, but Meiko again just wants to win this game so bad. There's a punch down, but Haichao still lives on. Look at the response. They're going to get mid. They'll even get pressure top and the Herald Lyric. LGD just keep winning.
LGD, every small trade is going their way. I love that they're able to get mid lane turret off of this, and it just goes back to Meteor, finding that opportunity to be able to take Leave out. Like you said, no cleanse, really paying for it so far. Gonna be able to get the Herald off this one, so gonna have an easy time. They should be able to break down top lane turret without any pressure needed. Xiaoxu's been doing amazingly in this top lane 1v1 after getting set up for success. So we already know this Herald probably gonna go down towards that bottom lane, but with Dragon coming up in 10 seconds, I wonder if EDG even opt into it. For LGD, you are missing some key ults. So no Sejuani ultimate. We don't have the perfect execution online for Haichao. So this actually might be one of the better times for EDG to fight, especially since Lee does have flash up.
Well, they've got a lot of damage that comes through from Eclipse as well from FoFo, but shot fast connects in the front line. Maybe I have to hold my words a little bit. They'll get priority towards mid, but Herald gives priority in the bot lane. Arla is making the long journey there, but Xiaoxu will be here first, so here comes confidence from LGD yet again, as Meteor seems to be taking no damage from that poke we talked about in the draft either.
And they're buying time. I think it was 10 seconds until Meteor's ult's back up, so now there will be more threat on leave. Haichao's ult is already back up, so the fact that EDG didn't want to try and maybe threaten that a bit faster and are more playing for the standoff in mid, which makes more sense for their composition. To be fair, right, see if they come in front of you, look to poke them down, they're able to get the turret off of it. But now we see how the Dragon fight goes. Both squads are going to be here. I'm keeping my eyes especially on Xiaoxu, who has the threat of a flank, but EDG, punish him.
Spot him. Levy's just going to start taking him, chunking him down. That'll help out. He has TP to get back with Dragon. Might have been the bait in the end as they draw him in for the smite down. It goes over to Jiejie with a sapling with an ult. How?
Yeah, I don't know. You're right. What was it that was able to guarantee that one?
It was
I'm sure we're going to
away.
Yeah, I was going to say, in the replay, the observer's always really good, right, about slowing it down and showing us the pixel of what was able to get that one. But my goodness, LGD going to be feeling that, because that was theirs. EDG giving so many resources to make sure that Xiaoxu's flank can't get anything done, taking a man out of the fight early on. And then keep your eyes on Jiejie. Ult and sapling thrown out. Is it just the ult?
One?
The burn.
The
sapling?
One. What? Nah, ain't no way. Hey, what in the flying donkey? What?
That has to be the unluckiest thing I've seen for Meteor. That has to feel so bad for LGD. 1 HP coming on through. The timing, only a millisecond of a millisecond off.
That's not even LGD's fault, man. That's not even, like, I'm calling that one of the biggest moments of pure luck in League of Legends. 1 HP. That's, no. Okay, Lyric, take it away. Good luck.
Okay, so here we go. EDG clearing out vision right now. You know, thank you, because I actually got to practice for the play-by-play that I did this weekend. EDG clearing out vision in their own jungle. We can see LGD answering in mid in response. Baron going to be up in 15 seconds, so it's all about the top side setup for now. Doesn't look like EDG are too confident about pushing into River to get that one down. So Hysterics, what do you want to see? How do we see EDG start closing this gold lead that LGD have been able to find?
I'd really like to see them, contest things. I like contesting. I would honestly aim to fight more. That's probably what I would do. And win the game. That's kind of the Nexus play, isn't it? You know, killing it. Something like that. What do you reckon?
Yeah, that was pretty good. The Nexus does need to go down, so...
True. Thank you for that. I got water, by the way. That was good. I just had to have a moment. It's not one of those plays, not like RA versus Ultra Prime earlier in the split. That was like a... just... oh my god. It feels bad. I kind of feel bad for LGD, considering their setup, their bait practice, their using of Xiaoxu. They kind of got robbed there a bit. They might still be 3,000 gold ahead, but Dragon Soul for EDG and Lyric, when you talk about poke, you know, I never thought we'd get an Infernal Soul, but here we are for a team that will utilize it very well.
Yeah, we're gonna... I mean, hell, I feel like the big thing is going to be the accelerated shot blast as well. I mean, those coming out with the damage from an Infernal Soul online, like, even if Leave can't necessarily get in range at first, or hopefully it means that Leave doesn't have to put himself in those positions where we have been seeing him try to play aggressively, right? And you can lean on focus damage more heavily to chunk them out before looking for a commitment or before looking for an engage coming from your side to be able to finish off these kills. So Still looking at them to get more items under their belt. FoFo now sitting at 2, so he really is the one who's ahead, right? That 30 CS lead in mid lane. To where for the opposite side, LPC now on 2 items. We know their top side has been incredibly ahead, both of them up over their counterparts. So really it's going to be that front line for LGD buying time and hopefully making it so FoFo, Leave aren't able to get their damage down before Haichao and LPC can find the burst onto Leave.
I mean, it's just insane tankiness already, right? So even with a bit of damage, how long it's going to take to actually kill Meteor with his Virtue in hand, with an Iceborne now picked up by Xiaoxu. 2 items coming through, and as you said, Nabori is there from Leave, so we do have a bit of damage here, but and I will say 40% crit, so Leave is going to be benefiting from that. But as they look for the bit of an invade here, they are gearing up for the next dragon now. Luckily, dragons can't go below 1 HP. Otherwise, I dare say we get ready for a 0.5 HP steal. The shock blast comes through, JinJiao with a flash. Oh, he gets him! How did JinJiao land that? But in the AoE, I don't like this one bit until Haichao comes in his angle. Beautiful, he gets under the wall, but Leave is spacing it out. LPC takes him down though, but he might go down with him as FoFo's still alive. Arla's there as well. When it comes to team fighting, EDG were born in it. Molded by it. Oh my God, they won that somehow.
That was insane, dude. Did he just blow it up immediately? Leave forward and get aggressively. Off the scene, the replay. I'm like, wait, how is he behind all the members of LGD? But in the end, EDG do win the fight. They will be able to get themselves a soul. And now, like we said, FoFo Leave, they're going to be hitting like a truck. But I want to keep my eyes on Leave with where he goes. JinJiao going forward. He actually finds the hook on him right away. But the tidal wave getting tremendous value. The root as well. And then Leave getting pinched by Haichao. Flash middle, so actually it's like really good way to try to escape and buy time. If he flashed back, I think Haichao would be able to follow immediately. He kills the Lucian just with his passive, and then FoFo and Ala able to run them down with the CC coming out from Meiko. Great chain. Again, Meiko and Jiejie's ultimates really killing, like taking away a lot of the steam of the engage to make sure that enough time was bought for more damage to be able to come out from the key carries of EDG before people like Leave were able to go down.
And they got Infernal Soul off the back of it. From that last Dragon steal to now an Infernal Soul 4 in a row. EDG might be down 3,000 gold as they have been now for quite an indicative amount of time, but it matters less and less. We've got so much burst damage, and LGD, they opened up these laning phases so damn well. Ala started 0-3. Or 0-4, I can't even remember the score, but he was down. But EDG somehow got back up, and Baron's now up. They're threatening that with a vision. Luckily, Scuttle went over to LGD, so it looks like it is also helping them buy a bit of time.
EDG gonna still be able to force their way in through River, realizing with that power, and again, we can see right there the accelerated shock blast from FoFo. Even doing significant damage to Meteor at this point in time. Really going to be looking at him for get something like a Seralda's Grudge online to really be able to hammer home at the members of LGD. And now for LGD, we've seen like they very clearly understand their game plan and are looking for those windows, but it might be hard with the ultis coming out from Jiejie and Meiko, but doing such a great job to be able to buy space. So maybe relying on Haichao potentially as a member to find a pick first, use him in Meteor, shut someone like FoFo down, and then try to use that numbers advantage to find a fight.
Cool. But if we're talking about Haichao versus FoFo, we know FoFo's doing better. It's going to be a solo kill, the Kiteaway. Great trick put there, but TP's defensive. However, Meteor buying a little bit of time. The rest of LGD now up here. 5-stack here as Ala didn't TP. FoFo was already there. EDG with a summoner advantage after that one.
EDG, I mean, FoFo just too strong. Like, you definitely can't take FoFo down in the 1v1. You would need multiple members, but I even like EDG. While I was saying, hey, maybe look for a pick on top side, EDG are rotating the rest of their squad up. They have Ala move towards mid to push in that wave, but they're doing a great job of covering their bases on the map, making sure, hey, bot lane's fine. We can see all members of LGD towards mid and top. Leave that one alone, push in mid, everyone else go support FoFo up towards that top side, and now just getting closer and closer to key items coming through.
Bro, we're getting a Riftmaker Kog'Maw. Sorry to interrupt. Just had a bit of a peek on what's going down there. The tech, I can't deal with the tech. Even in live servers, we see Nash, we see Navori, Phantom Dancer majority of the time, right? That's the build.
I know I've
but
seen
there's
some
normally
people
a
even
Blade
just
of the
going
King.
straight AP and like playing Rod of Ages and solo queue and going that route. So I mean,
Really?
yeah, I don't know. He's an interesting champion. I'm excited to see where they go with it. Right, Kog'Maw does obviously have like AP ratios across the board. So gonna be interesting to see Leave continue. Oh, I'm gonna pause. FoFo.
Tidal wave great again though. Actual prison. FoFo has to flash though, and unfortunately just caught out in front of Baron. That's a very naughty place to get caught.
And remember, one of the things about EDG's comp, we said it, being able to force flashes before like a natural fight timings come up, before things like Elder, before these Baron baits come on through. So that is a huge win for their side. Both LPC, Haichao having flashes up. You're going to have their top side with those available soon too. So it might even set up for a good time to look for that engage onto FoFo and make sure that he isn't able to get anything done. And then again, leave people like LPC, like leave and Jiejie to their own devices to be those main damage dealers.
It's going to come down to the Baron. It's going to come down to the Elder. And we'll gear up for that fight. Those 3 items should be completed. FoFo leave. You'll see soon that Rift Maker turning into what it is.
They have a fast Baron too, right? I mean, you have a Kog'Maw, you have a Jayce. You're going to be able to do this so incredibly fast. Maybe they don't even need to. LPC.
Walks up. I mean, I guess now you're not too worried about the cleanse when Ghost can be utilized with the movement speed you're getting from Nami at this point as well. And
you're
just
also
from this Kog'Maw.
You're constantly going to be surrounded by other members of your squad, so pretty much all going to be about the protection and the zoning able to come through. And now at this point, like your range advantage that's going to come out is just going to mean so much more than anything LGD can really throw at you. And there it is, the Rift Maker that you've been highlighting.
Yay. Okie dokie. Well, technology, we always ask, has it gone too far? I don't think it's gone far enough. I can't wait for the 4th item. Wit's End's been seen. Blade, I was saying before, even a Gwiznooz came through at some point, so cannot wait to eat some Gwiznooz. We're getting to EDG, now pivoting for Elder Baron. We're getting to this point where LGD now threatening the same deal. So it's going to be all about these neutrals as Haichao gets the spread out in the bottom wave, gets that shoved in. Top's pushing in as well. EDG don't have their waves in order, but still setting themselves up through mid, getting that poke down. Leave just heading forward. Look at the kiting. Does he care? He just avoided an ulti with fancy beat. Flashes back now. Haichao's in though, but he's knocked up. Watch Leave. Watch the Kog'Maw. Still auto-attacking. Haichao can't kill him. And here we go. LPC runs over the wall. That's a flash, in fact, but Leave still continues chasing up this guy. Just doesn't want to do his namesake.
No, and for the side of LGD, right? They don't want those extended standoffs in mid. We see that they're struggling. They kind of have to just throw out the Sejuani ult haphazardly. It ends up hitting Meiko. They're not able to find the engage. And now the Elder coming through. Xiaoxu gonna potentially look for the engage.
Do it again. Well, it's a beautiful one. Aquaprince sets it up and found out Meteor was picked on his Leave. Almost gets JinJiao the flash force away. He's frontlining again. He's frontlining again. He's frontlining again. And he pays for it. Now Meiko's up next and Xiaoxu wants to carry this game, but FoFo has so much damage, and in fact, it's Leave that kills him with a dead Kog'Maw. FoFo follows up as LPC runs through his life, and it looks like the trade is deep. But EDG have pulled off the Elder in a simple move.
Still, LGD are the ones who actually come out with a favorable trade, taking down 3 members of EDG. It doesn't feel like they lost it out since they still have healthy members that can like pressure on the map. We're gonna see here Ala waiting in the bush, not getting time for Xiaoxu to find an engage. They immediately take down Meteor. And yeah, Leave, I mean, he's just afraid of nothing. Definitely being the one to give LGD the opening in this situation for them to end up winning, again, quote unquote winning despite finding the picks that they've been looking for and denying an Elder start from coming through. But my God, this man is fearless.
I knew there was a reason for it. It's all about the passive, isn't it? Kog'Maw just wants to run in and nuke. I think it's based off damage anyway, because yeah, it is true damage. It's not AP, guys. Sorry to apologize, but wait, no, I'm not sorry to apologize. I'm just apologizing. But the point is, still, his AP damage is coming through. The W in hand, everything looking beautiful right now for Leave, who continues to be a frontline menace. Elder's being started up. No one looking at the Baron. We're going to 5v5 in River once again.
I'm keeping my eyes on Haichao, trying to find a way to Leave, but Leave already chunking him out.
Xiaoxu trying to jump in. LPC's at the back here, but Arla's found an angle. How the Renekton's been found out as 1,000 damage already from Leave. His ulti with that Riftmaker is turning and burning as Dominance is popped by Arla, but the Active Prison again. Meiko needs a carry medal as Death Charge used on the lead. That'll pull him back for JinJiao. Already at half HP. Watch out for that ulti as he flies through the sky. JinJiao burnt the flash before. Leave nukes him down, but not before FoFo gets the kill credit. Running forward is what EDG want to do this game as Haichao turns onto Arla, but as he flushes away, he gets out. Meteor too low to commit to the play, and Leave is hungry yet again. This Kog'Maw continues to run forward as EDG now turn for this Elder that LGD is too scared to fight for.
The longer the contest lasts, the better that EDG does. Meiko hitting some key bubbles as well in that exchange, and okay, they're going to TP in, but they're not going to be able to find anything off of it because Elder's already done.
Yeah, look, Xiaoxu, this is a big ask, and he's just burnt by Leave, so I guess some kind of idea to throw the Hail Mary out, but now EDG are going to get the Baron as well. Yeah,
I mean, right, at this point, this one should be done and dusted. Like, even if the gold lead isn't there, EDG have Soul, EDG have Elder, EDG are going to win any team fight that happens right now. They're going to be able to take this Baron pretty easily, unless Meteor comes in and finds a miracle steal, then, I mean, this map is EDG's. Hell, even if he does find a miracle steal, this map's EDG's.
Well, it's been funky, hasn't it? It's been real funky in EDG, again, getting Infernal Soul, the funkiest thing of all. As we look at a replay, again, this team likes going in.
Yeah, EDG, big fans of, actually, I don't know any funky artists to name, but we're just going to see here, EDG running them down. Again, extended standoffs, LGD can't do this, and Leave. It's scary, honestly, being the one in front, potentially setting up for burst to come out, but maybe just having the confidence because members are close enough. You do still have, like, key CC abilities, like Twisted Advance, like the bubble there, if anyone jumped onto him, for him to be able to do that.
Prince was in Funk, apparently, by Google's standards. James Brown, I thought he was king of, like, Soul.
Like, my mind went to Disco, but I'm like, Disco's not, you know, I went to, like, Earth, Wind, and Fire, and BGs, but I'm like, wait. You know, those are different things. So
I think you're right. Like Marvin Gaye's is here. Oh. So, hang on. Aretha Franklin. Michael Jackson's in here, but he was like, he was king of pop.
Yeah, that is
what's the crossover here, you know?
Famous funk artists. Let's
yeah, have a look.
Wait, no, but so, I was gonna say it does name people like Earth, Wind, and Fire. What is this?
Oh, it does, yeah. There's even a band called Funkadelic in there. What a surprise.
Oh.
Imagine being called Funkadelic if you like the kick of rock and roll. That would suck. Look, EDG have closed this one out, or at least looks like they're going to. Guys, we've seen the recent fights. It might have been close in the early game, but with Elder buff, watch Leave go. This Kog'Maw continues to posture aggressively as it's double turret being taken down. I'm waiting for the auto attack kingdom as our first Kog'Maw in the LPL came from this man. And he's going to leave with a huge jump. This TP flank from Haichao is the Hail Mary, but the next turret's already dead. Elder's still at work. Leave auto attacks away. Somebody save Meteor, but they can't. LPT takes an auto as Leave goes golden. JinJiao set up for the dredge line, but he flushes out of the way in the nick of time. Now Leave repositions auto attack. Xiaoxu runs him in, but he has no fear. Kog'Maw returns, and he's here. A double kill, setting it up. Triple, no, FoFo! FoFo, I hate you!
EDG, they still come away with the win. Doesn't matter how much you hate FoFo. As Leave looking incredibly happy. I don't expect him to pick up MVP, I'll be honest. Like, people like Meiko that game, I think, had an insane performance. But it was great to see the combo come out. It was great to see, like, the level of aggression that it was played with. It was amazing to see EDG kind of work their way around it, right? Yeah. Jiejie and Meiko getting a special shout out from me. FoFo really being one to hold down the damage as well when, like, some of these situations were going a bit awry. And Ala honestly didn't really have to do much. Like, Ala got ganked and then ended up really getting screwed in that top lane matchup. But at the same time, his teammates had his back.
I just, no compliments for FoFo, bro. Even though it would have only been a quadra, that's a stolen penta in my eyes. The game should have gone on for longer. That's a Kog'Maw that deserved it. Leave is the biggest energy maker in the LPL. Like, if we had energy pacemakers, he would have been on that team because, oh, that Kog'Maw walking forward. He didn't even have a Lulu. He didn't even have a Lulu, but Leaf flashed forward, walked into an enemy. This Nautilus? Akali? Who cares, he said.
Yeah, leave really was, and again, it just shows to me confidence in your team and like realizing that the people around him have his back and like know how to execute if he is playing in these positions. So it's again just more kudos to like Kenju, Meiko, like the system that this EDG squad has built to be able to like to be able to let people like leave play like this, to be able to let people like Ala kind of get shut down early on, have no impact in the game, but still be able to come out because they've set up a system, set up protocols to where they're still able to win, and they realize their win condition, that they understood how to take these team fights, even with LGD finding a really impressive lead. Like, seriously, kudos to Meteor in that early game to set all this up, but EDG were just too strong and too smart.
Yeah, again, like how EDG plays their mid game, you can see there's a turning point there, but the Infernal Soul came before. The Infernal Soul is also set up by that 1 HP steal from Jiejie that came out of left field, but you were highlighting FoFo and leave this game. Both deserve to be proud of their performances. I think Meiko gets MVP though. Lyric, I know LPL loves flashy plays, but Meiko was spot on. I don't think I saw him miss an Aqua Prison or an ulti. Like, Meiko had another solid performance.
Yeah, Meiko's been, again, this has really been a split for Meiko in my mind. He really has had so many just great games this split, and like defining games where it's like Meiko was one of the people who won this game. And I feel like it's always harder to like show as a support, especially in a meta that's been so heavily influenced by like enchanters and marksman support picks to come through. It's a lot easier to have like an